15th round. I was very impressed, even with my performance on how strong and how fast I finished in the 14th and 15th round.
Okay, Marvin, let's go back to some of the earlier rounds and run over again with us. First, round 3.
Okay, I feel right here in round 3 that I was finally getting things together. I'm even beating him in the inside of his own game. And I feel as though I did better when I switched over right-handed. Now I realize that I can't have this guy come to me. I got to go to him, and that's basically what I did. I felt as though I shook him up in this round here, too. And when you ever see Duran starts to hold on, that's not Duran's style.
You're a little bit tight out there. Don't try and knock him out every punch. That's not the name of the game. He's setting back on you, see?
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. I'm trying not to fall in the trap.
Don't fall in the trap.
That's basically what Duran wanted me to do, was to lean forward and try to hit me with the uppercut and the hook. And as you can see right there that I'm a little tight there because I'm missing big blows.
Through the first 3 rounds, Roberto Duran was slightly ahead, and no one really disputed that. In the 4th round, Marvin Hagler began to play catch-up. In the 5th round, one official had it for Duran, one for Hagler, and one even. It wasn't an easy fight to score. Marvin, were you confused by Duran early in the fight? Was his little right hand getting into you? Why weren't you able to be more dominant then?
Well, in the first couple of rounds there, you know, the first round was more or less like a chess and checker. I think the second round was, I kind of figured that he wasn't going to fight the style that we anticipated. Third round, I started putting, we figured that we had to change up our strategy. And I think that's what happened there. I started using more, going more to the right-hand side, catching with right-hand left hooks.
By the 6th round, that strategy was beginning to work very well.
As you see right here, my punches are starting to come off, and I think this round here I put more pressure on Duran right here because I seen him starting to huff and puff. He's starting to breathe real heavy on the inside of there. These are the type of shots that I really needed. Just letting the punches come out without being real tight. Just let them out. And as you notice, I was doing a lot better on the right-hand side. And I think this kind of shocked Duran how well that he didn't expect me to fight this type of fight, beating him at his own game. You can see that his punching power, he really had nothing in his punches. So I was able to take chances in there at this time. This is one of my best rounds right here because the punches were really coming out great for me, from either side. But I was more effective on the right-hand side, as you see. As you can see, these punches here, Duran never gets hit by these types of shots here. And this was even amazed Duran. I think right here was the controlling round to see basically who was going to be boss in this fight. And basically right here, I really wanted to see what type of punching power Duran had, and he had nothing.
I feel now.
Good, good. He's trying to put him together.
He's trying to time that right. Throw some uppercuts inside. He's trying to time that, and you come in and throw that straight right hand at you, see? Keep switching right-handed. You feel comfortable right-handed, don't you? Try.
I felt very comfortable right-handed, and it kind of confused Roberto Duran a little bit there. He's playing that waiting game, wait. He's waiting for me to throw out my jab there so that he can counter with the quick right hand.
The scoring in the middle rounds was the most controversial. Guy Jutras, the Canadian official, gave Marvin Hagler a 2-point round in the 6th, which seemed excessive. But Marvin Hagler did forge ahead narrowly on all cards by the end of 11th round. The controversy was that it seemed that he had dominated most of those rounds and he didn't get credit for them. Marvin, you seem to be rolling over Duran in those middle rounds. Why didn't you try to impose your strength and your conditioning on him rather than back off as you did in the 11th round?
Well, first of all, I started getting things going. As you know, in the 6th round, I felt as though it was my best round. We really started putting a strategy together now that I had to go with. And I felt as though that a lot of times in those middle rounds that the bell would end at the wrong times But the 11th round, it was kind of where I figured that I would start putting my strategy together, which I was training for 7 hard weeks about. And I figured if I can try to draw leads to get him to sucker in, to make him kind of mad, you know how if you intimidate Duran, you know, he goes off.
If you had it to do all over again, would you jump on him in those rounds now and try to just out-strength him?
Yeah, I would basically, now that I know how to fight Duran, I would put the pressure on him. I would have to punch every second of the rounds. And that's what I have to do. I basically have to put the pressure on him.
By letting up on Duran in that 11th round, he gave him hope and he gave him a rest, and Duran jumped on Hagler in the 12th.
Right here in this round here, the 12th round, Duran would just try to get off a couple rounds with the right hand, and I think that if I catch him with that quick right hand a couple of times, more went in the judge's eye. But basically, I kept the pressure on him, and I tried to get him to throw those punches. I had to find an opening, and the only way that I can be able to counter off of him was for him to get him to throw punches. As you can see, I'm bleeding here in the 12th round, and I thought it was a later round. So you kind of like have to start fighting now. I was a little bit worried about the eye, but I waited to get back to the corner.
Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about the cut or nothing. Understand?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Want a big round this one. That's all. All the rope.
Yep. All right.
As you can see, when I came back out, I was a lot stronger and more determined now to put Duran out of there if I can find the shot before that eye started swelling. And in this is the 15th round, and I was really hurting Duran really bad. Wanted to get one solid shot over because he was breathing through his mouth very heavily. And I just had to concentrate on the body and the head. Making him punch, and that's what so that I can find that opening. This is what Duran wasn't doing in the beginning of the round. He wasn't punching with me. Right here, Duran knew that he wasn't stronger than me. And he's not used to being hit like this. He couldn't understand it, and his punching power had no effect on me. And I tried to tell him right here that this fight here that I knew I had at least 11 rounds of this fight here, and told him that he wasn't nothing. He's a bad sportsman, so now I'm trying to tell him, how do you like it?
Duran won both the 12th and 13th rounds, and that put him ahead on 2 of the officials' scorecards. That brought us to the 14th and 15th rounds, which Marvin Hagler swept convincingly. Marvin, did you really feel you were behind going into the 14th round, or were you just afraid you might be behind?
No, I felt as though that I was winning every round from there on, except the 11th round where, again, I told you where we started dancing, but there was no punches thrown in that round at all, so I couldn't really see how they gave Duran that round. The 13th round, I think that's when I got the headbutt from Duran, and my eye kind of started swelling. Basically, then I knew that I would really have to end this fight either quicker so that my eye wouldn't, block my vision.
After this fight, the aura of invincibility that had been on you before no longer seems to be there. Do you feel that's a good thing for you, or not a good thing?
Well, it could, maybe it could mean a bigger payday for me to get these guys to come out of hiding. But it also showed the world that I could do 15 rounds very strong. And as you know, the 14 to 15 round, just behind being in Vegas, it gets you a little skeptical out there. So I knew that I had to pour it on just to be more decisive with my favor.
Thank you so much for being with us, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You know, in a sense, Marvin Hagler was in a no-win situation. Had he gone out and knocked out Roberto Duran in 2 or 3 rounds, everyone would have said, see, he just beat up a bloated lightweight. By going the distance and still winning, they were saying, see, he's not really that good. How do you win? Well, you win by winning. And in this fight, in a sense, both fighters did win. Roberto Duran gave the best he could. He tried very hard to win. He was in it for 15 rounds. The champion did what he had to do to win. So we did have, in the end, a real celebrity bash. And now let's go back to ringside in Puerto Rico.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. And let's talk for a moment about the fight that we saw in Las Vegas. A lot of the press, really, during the course of the week said, what'd you think of the fight? They didn't think too much of it. Frankly, I thought it was a fighter's fight, a tactical fight.
I thought it was a very technical fight, Barry. Mainly on the part of Roberto Duran. Duran made it very difficult